another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Welcome to PIXEL Gaiden!
Hey everyone, it's Tim from the PIXEL Gaiden Podcast, and today we're going to be talking all about the Atari Jaguar. So then, the Atari Jaguar. This one is my Jaguar. Here it is. So the Atari Jaguar is a console from around about the very start of the 90s, probably 92, 93, somewhere like that. This was released. It was Atari's last hurrah. This and the Atari Falcon was pretty much the death knell of Atari as we knew it back in the day originally. Now this very Jaguar I purchased from a retailer, mail order retailer as they were then, not online, and this one actually cost me, I think it was around about £39, £40. They were selling these off really cheaply. This particular Jaguar has stayed in its box pretty much ever since I purchased it. It's travelled with me as I've moved house and gone through my life over the last few years. I've been waiting for one very special little thing which we're going to cover off here today on the video, but this has been something I've been waiting for a while for, to finally get my Jaguar up and running. So first off, let's do a quick unboxing and let's see what's inside the box and look at the condition of this Jaguar, because it's pretty much new old stock. So here we are then. Here's my Atari Jaguar. So let's take a quick look at the box. Let's spin it around. And on the back we can clearly see we've got the Jaguar. There's a few games shown on the back here, along with, I think it's the Jaguar CD as well. So let's just have a quick look on the box. And we can see we've got a few games there. There's Troy Aikman football, there's Checkered Flag, Tempest 2000, among a few others. You can see the Jaguar and the controller, and it's a lovely box, this one. Really nice distinctive Jaguar logo. So let's have a look in the box. Let's flip it around and open up. So inside the box we've got the cardboard innards, and this hasn't been open for many years. So this is a new in the box, or as in new old stock Jaguar, which I purchased many years ago. So let's pull it out of the box. There's the keyboard overlay for Cybermorph. Let's just close the box up, and then we'll pop the box down and see what's in the actual case itself. So in here, let's turn it around. We've got the Atari Jaguar. We've got the power supply. We've got the gamepad. So yeah, let's have a look, see what we've got here. So going from the start, let's take out the Jag, and there it is in its nice plastic poly bag. Never come out of that bag, I don't think. And there's the back of the Jaguar. We've got the serial number and all that sort of stuff on the back. There's the warranty card, the original card that came with it. And we've got the overlay. So that's like a little keypad overlay. Because if you didn't know, the joy pads have got a keyboard on them. Little keyboard. There's the Jaguar manual, so that's the user's guide. So it's nice black and red logo. Inside we've got all the instructions how to set up the Jaguar. Then we've got the Cybermorph manual. So again, this has never been opened. And now we've got the original receipt. So this is the bill that I got when I bought this. So this was from a company called Gameplay, who were clearing out a load of old, well not old, but obviously new stock that they had in. And so I paid the princely sum of £34.99 in the year 2000 for that Jaguar. So here's the controller. So again, all nice and new in its poly bag, so never been opened. So you can see you've got the keypad on there, you've got 3 buttons. There's the controller cable with the controller port with the Atari logo on it. And an RF cable, that's not much use, we'll just put that down there. There's the Cybermorph game, so that's the cartridge, the pack-in title that comes with it. So I'll have a look at that in a bit. Pop that down there a minute. Yeah. And then we've got the adapter, the power adapter. So yeah, that's the one that comes with the Jaguar. Pop that down there and pop it back in the box. And yeah, so that's the Atari Jaguar. Pick up that cable, and we'll just pop it all back in the box neatly how it came in. We're going to unpack this in a bit and get the console all set up, but I'm just going to pop the console and everything back in the box, and then I'll get it all out again in a bit and get it all set up so we can give it a try. So there's the Jaguar just going back in, and we'll pop the Cybermorph back in, and I think we're good to go. Let's just pop the box back up on there so you can see that lovely Jaguar logo. Okay, so here we are. We've got the Jaguar all set up now. So this is the first time this has been plugged in many years. So I've got the Jaguar set up. I've got the joypad connected. I've got it connected through to the power, and I've got a SCART cable that I recently picked up. So I've now got that plugged in through my upscaler. So I'm recording a video at the same time as doing this audio for Tea Time with Tim. So we're going to put out a video of this as well. So, okay, without any further ado, let's switch the Jaguar on and see if we get the trademark roar from the Jaguar as it powers on for the very first time in many years. Let's give it a go, shall we? There we go, there's the startup sound. So now we're going to see if Cybermorph's going to run. So we've got the Cybermorph cartridge connected up, and that is the music from the Cybermorph game. So this is designed by ATD, copyright 1993 Atari Corporation. This was programmed and written by Fred Gill, Brian Pollock, graphics by Chris Gibbs, Ian Harling and BJ West. So it's given us the high score screen now. So this game will eventually, I think, from memory, dip into a demo mode. So I don't know whether... let's see if we can get into the game, actually. Let's give this a very quick go. I don't want to be too long on this. Oh, there we go. There's the demo mode. So if you've not seen Cybermorph before, thank you for wishing us good luck. It's a 3D flying shooting game. You fly over the landscapes. You can move up and down, left and right, speed up, speed down, fire your pulse laser. The idea is to shoot all the pods across the landscape and complete each level. So there's lots of different aliens that you can shoot. So let's just knock back the sound back on there a bit, so you can probably hear me now. So yeah, so this is that's Cybermorph. Let's move over now, and we're actually going to get into the reason why I've managed to dig out my Jaguar after all these years. So I'll be back with you in a moment. Okay, so we're back. As you may be able to see on the screen if you're watching the video, for those that aren't watching the video at the moment, you're listening as normal on the podcast. I am going to show you how to use and set up a recently acquired device for the Jaguar, which is the Jaguar game drive. This, if you don't know, is the game drive for the Jaguar that allows you to play all the ROM cartridge games straight off of an SD. Now, these devices are quite hard to get hold of. They're in quite popular demand. I have managed to snag one recently in the last month or so, and I've been eagerly waiting to try and use this device. And I had to wait for my birthday, which was at the beginning of April, to be actually able to get this into my hands, as it were. I also ordered a Jaguar SCART cable, which we just used a minute ago, because this Jaguar has never been turned on. I can't even remember turning it on when I first bought it all those years ago. I think it was in the year 2000 now. So we are going to plug in the game drive into the Jaguar, which I've actually done for the sake of people not watching the video. That's already plugged in. I've not powered it on before, so we're going to just quickly run through how we set up. I think I watched a couple of videos of people doing it. So this latest version requires you to download the firmware from the Retro HQ website, the latest firmware, and you have to do that by scanning a QR code, because I believe each QR code is individual to each Jaguar game drive. This, I believe, was done to stop people reverse engineering the Jaguar game drive, so the latest firmware is not available generally, and each firmware is done, I believe, for each individual cartridge. So anyway, without further ado, let's give this a try. So let's read the instructions. So it says, thank you for purchasing the Jaguar game drive cartridge from Retro HQ, which is www.retrohq.co.uk. The Jag GD allows you to play Atari Jaguar games and homebrew ROM cartridges directly from a memory card. Your game saves, where supported, will be stored on a memory card alongside your games, so everything's stored in one place. Getting started. The Jag GD cartridge needs to be updated with the latest firmware before it will function. To do this, insert the Jag GD cartridge and power on your Jaguar. A screen will be displayed with a QR code and a website address, similar to the one shown below, so that's in the little manual. Either scan the QR code or visit the website manually to get the latest firmware. Okay, so what we're going to do now then is we're going to have a very quick look on the Retro HQ website. So over on the video, I'm just going to switch this image off. That one. And we've got the Retro HQ website. So this is showing the Jaguar game drive and selection of images, so you can always go and visit that over upon the website of like I say, retrohq.co.uk. So a quick description of the device. So it says again, the Retro HQ Jaguar game drive cartridge allows you to play back the full catalogue of Jaguar games and homebrew directly from a memory card. The Jaguar game drive has full support for all games of all sizes of EEPROMs used to save games progress. The EEPROM contents are saved directly to memory card along with your game. So everything is stored in one place. We did that one earlier. You will need to provide a memory card, which is the micro SD card. And it needs to be formatted to FAT or FAT32, and your own ROM images, so it can be a JAG, J64, a ROM, bin, or an ABS file to play the games. A selection of freeware games are linked in the reference section below, which I've already downloaded those. The latest firmware for the original Jaguar game drive, recognisable by a different label from the above, can be found below. For the new style Jaguar game drive, please follow the on-screen instructions when you boot the cartridge to access firmware updates. So it says the distributors in the UK who I got my one through is Retro Gamer Stuff, Retro Towers in the UK, Dragon Box in Germany, Atari Age in the USA, and Stone Age Gamer in the USA, which is well known to listeners and the guys from the Pixel Gaiden podcast, because I know Cody and Eric both use Stone Age Gamer quite a bit. So the hardware compatibility, Atari Jaguar without a Jaguar CD installed. That's no problem for me. I don't own the Jaguar CD. So EEPROM support for 128, 512 and 2048 by EEPROMs. 16 FAT16 32 formatted, MMC compatible micro memory card, JagLink currently not supported. Software compatibility, all retail and homebrew games working, and then you've got resources at the bottom. So you've got a firmware, which is the latest one for the original Jaguar game drive, which is not the one that I've got, a marquee creator tool, a reboot game pack, which is the freeware game pack that I've downloaded. There's a Bad Apple demo, a reboot, so then you can also link to the Reboot Games website for the new homebrew Atari Jaguar games, and Ool Quest for Money, which is a freeware demo version. The physical release can be purchased at the Pedalese web shop. Okay, so that's a quick run through of the Jaguar Game Drive website over at retrohq.co.uk. So let's move out of that one for the moment. And what we'll do now is we're going to have a look at the actual Jaguar itself, and we're going to try and power on the Jaguar for the first time with the game drive inserted. So give us a second. So we've got Retro HQ come up. Oh, okay. Well, this appears to have the firmware in it, I think. It's just powered up into the game drive menu. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so maybe I don't need to do all that then. So this is truly the first time I've switched this on. So luckily I've prepared an SD card, which I've already put in there. I watched a couple of videos on this, and it's just pretty simple. You can download the freeware games to test it out off of the Retro HQ website. You just literally just pop them into a folder. You can put them onto the root of the SD card if you want to, but I think it's better to put it in a folder called Jaguar, and then you can actually individually split up those folders into sort of like commercial releases, and then maybe even subfolders in there, sort of like A to P or something like that, and split them up alphabetically, because I do think that even though there aren't a huge amount of Jaguar titles, running them directly from the root of the drive, I think the directory listing can chug a little bit from the menu without splitting it up. So options that we've got through the menu screen, we've got button A, which is to navigate, B is to select, C upper directory, UD, which is move, and O, which is version. So let's go to let's select. Oh yeah, there we go. So we've selected the folder, the Jaguar folder. So I've broken this into commercial releases, demos, and freeware. So let's go to demos. Did I put anything in there? No, I didn't. Okay. So let's go C up directory. That should take us back, does it? No, there we go. Okay. Let's go commercial then. Let's go A to K. Oh, I've got nothing in there. So I thought I set this all up. Let's have a look in freeware. Okay, so we've got something in there. So we've got downfall. we've got Expressway, we've got Circle Rocketeer, we've got HMS Raptor, we've got Kobayashi Maru, which I'm guessing is kind of like must be a play on the Star Trek game, Star Trek's scenario. Superfly, we've got Degs, and we've got Beatrice Tribute ROM. Okay, so let's look at Downfall. I think Cody's played this one on the Switch recently, so let's have a quick look at this one and see if this will work. So it says loading ROM, so it obviously loads it into a section on the cartridge, ready for playing. We've got the Jaguar going now. Our familiar Jaguar startup sound now. So is it going to start up the game? Yes. So this is done by Reboot. Let's have a bit of music. Pump up the music, pump up the tunes. So we've got options B to play. So it says pick up fruit for more points to enable bonus items. And it just went off the screen. So code is by Serrano Jones and Saron. Nice tune. Graphics by Nero Shri. So let's give this a try then. So I think it was B to start, wasn't it? So here we go, we're running across, so we've got to jump across the platforms and try and pick items up along the way. Oh, no, I went off the side of the screen. That obviously doesn't work. So it's relatively simple, relatively simple game by the looks. Okay, so there we go. So the Jaguar SD drive appears to be working. It appears I didn't need to do the firmware update. So I wonder if we can just get some of those other commercial games on there that I managed to find. Let me see if I can update those on the SD card, and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, we are back. Apologies for that. I found the problem. I'd copied all the games across, all the ROMs across, but they were all in zip files. So because you have to literally only use the valid extensions, so like the .j64 file, etc., it won't read them directly through from the zip file. So you have to go through and unzip all the ROM files directly back onto the SD card. So I've just taken a little while and done that. So now we've got a whole stack of games. So let's turn the Jaguar on again and let's see what we've got. So Jaguar's going back on again. And okay, right, so we've now got our directory back up. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down into the Jaguar directory, and press B to select and go back into my commercial folder, and we're going to look for Tempest 2000 because I've been itching to play this because I'm a big Jeff Minter game fan, and this was an absolute tour de force on the Jaguar. So where are we? Troy Aikman? No. Tempest 2000. There we are. Let's power this one up. So it's loading the ROM into the cartridge. Takes a few seconds, I guess, depending on what size the cartridge is. And then it boots up. So we should have the familiar Jaguar RAW. And got the Jaguar spinning logo, the cube logo. And here we are. So we are into Tempest 2000. So this is copyright 1981 and 1994 Atari Corporation. So this was recreated by Jeff Minter or Llamasoft in 1994 for the Jaguar. So just to describe what's going on, so this is just the title screen, and we've got the logo Tempest 2000, and it kind of morphs in and out of the screens. We've got the familiar sort of like the vector style graphics that are is obviously common on Tempest. We've got high score table, and of course the mighty Yak, Jeff himself, is first place on the high score table. So we've got original game design by Dave Thruer, Jaguar version designed by Yak, which is obviously, as we know, Jeff Minter, bitmap artwork by Joby, tunes by Magitech Design, game testing by Joe, Andrew, Hans and Goku, voices by Ted and... Oh, it's scrolled off the screen. Okay, so fire to play. So it's actually going to run through a little demo, but I'm going to get into the game. So we've got on Tempest 2000 we've got some different game modes to change. So we can select the game type to play. So we've got traditional, which is the sort of like the normal Tempest as you would have played in the arcade back in the day, Tempest Plus, Tempest 2000 and Tempest Dual. So as you can hear as I move through, it says excellent. So let's go with the traditional. So I'm selecting that with button B, and again the kind of like the screen morphs, and we get some really thumping music, which is really cool. So you can select your level that you want to start at. So I'm just going to go into the basic level. So we've got kind of like a Starfield effect on the screen, and it's sort of like coming towards you, and then we've got the kind of like the vector graphic of the first level just swirling around. So it's like a cylindrical tube, the first level, so you're looking down into the tube with the sort of like the vector mapped plots of the different segments of the circumference of the circle, I guess. So we've got 3 lives to start off with. We're at 0 points. So what we do is we move around the circle in a left and right motion. We fire with button B, and then we've got the red aliens that come in from the bottom of the tube. And the idea is to not let them get to the top of the top of the tube, which they've just done and caught me. It's been a while since I played this game. But this just seems absolutely excellent. Is it a 64-bit game? Well, I'm not really sure. I guess it's using a fair bit of the console. I mean, the music is obviously brilliant. The graphics do shift along. Is it anything kind of like the Amiga could have not done? I'm not sure. Maybe. Obviously, I guess playing the music. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it's don't get me wrong. Tempest 2000 is still fantastic. Probably shot you. Just got me. Probably one of the better Jaguar releases anyway. There is a lot of not so good games on the Jaguar. I didn't go with the usual one. I guess most people would probably gone traditionally with Alien vs Predator. I wanted to spend a bit more time digging into that game, and it being a bit of a surprise when I first power it on. But yeah, this is Tempest 2000 is a great shooter. Pick up and play. I would highly recommend you have a look at this one. If you're lucky enough to own a Jaguar at the moment and have got the Jag SD, then go for it. Believe it or not, I do actually have the original of this game. I've got the original cartridge, and I've just never used the Jaguar up until this point. So this is the first time we're experiencing it together. So anyway, I guess we should probably end on this, because this is the episode of Tea Time with Tim, and the video is probably dragging on a bit now. So thank you very much for watching and for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode, and I'll hear you on the next episode of Pixel Gaiden. Bye.